Good evening. Our news summary for this Tuesday evening. Some 56 types of medicine are being used by the Ministry of Health for the treatment of cancer, and over 200 patients are being treated for cancer. Those statements were made by the designated minister, Jean-François Ferrari, in the National Assembly this morning while answering a private notice question from the leader of the opposition, Sébastien Pillet, on the unavailability of cancer medicines in the country. Minister Ferrari was sitting in for the Minister of Health, Peggy Vidot, who is attending a regional health conference which the Ministry of Health is hosting. Minister Ferrari was accompanied by Dr. Dany Louange, the Chief Executive Officer of the Healthcare Agency, and the Chief Pharmacist, Lucille Decaumarmont. They said that most of the standard medicines are available except for generic ones or immunotherapy treatments, which are prepared for specific patients and which the ministry must import. Dr. Louange said that these medicines can be quite expensive and cost as much as 600,000 rupees per patient. Minister Ferrari also said that lots of progress has been made in the treatment of cancer here. The minister responsible for youth and sports, Marie-Céline Zialo, says strategic and operational reforms are necessary to ensure that the National Youth Council remains relevant. Speaking during question time in the National Assembly this morning, Minister Zialo said the objectives are meant to impact and bring about change in the movement. She noted that most of the programs and activities have been initiated by the youths themselves. She added that the SNYC is also active in 2 national programs, including a think tank and a youth brigade that encourages volunteerism. The board of the Central Bank of Seychelles, the CBS, has decided to lower the monetary policy rate from 2% to 1.75% for the second quarter of 2020. This was announced by the first Deputy Governor of the Central Bank, Brian Cometon, during a press conference this morning. He said the domestic activity in the first quarter of the year was primarily driven by the positive performance of the tourism industry, which contributed towards a sustained inflow of foreign exchange. In turn, this led to an appreciation of the domestic currency against the US dollar relative to the last quarter of 2023. The deflationary trend in the average price of goods and services observed since May 2023 has continued thus far in 2024 in year-on-year terms. The new ambassador of South Korea for Seychelles, Jung Kang, presented his accreditation papers to President Wavell Ramkalawan at State House this morning. Ambassador Kang is based in Ethiopia and is the ambassador of Seychelles, Djibouti, Ethiopia, and the African Union. During his visit with the President, Ambassador Kang stated that he wishes to strengthen the relationship between Seychelles and South Korea. He discussed various sectors in which South Korea can support the country, such as the blue economy, tourism, and fisheries. Ambassador Kang also invited President Ramkalawan to attend the first South Korea-Africa Summit, which will be held in June this year.
We discussed about how to improve our relations into future. So we talked about people-to-people exchange, and also we talked about the institutionalization of our cooperation. And also because Korea is hosting the first ever Korea-Africa Summit in coming June, and I conveyed the invitation to him. The visit of the President Ramkalawan to Korea will be a very good momentum for that cooperation and collaboration. We can elevate the Korea-Seychelles bilateral relations, taking that opportunity. We will continue that close cooperation and collaboration in the future as well.
The WHO Regional Director for Seychelles visited President Ramkalawan this morning. Dr. Matshidiso Moeti discussed the work being done by the Ministry of Health in the country with the President and the Minister of Health, Peggy Vidota. Dr. Moeti said that after the discussion, she has a better understanding of the health services and the difficulties which the Ministry of Health faces, which will allow for the WHO to provide better support to the country.
Essentially, we have a government that's interested in addressing certain particular health problems. One is obesity, which is why we went for the health walk. And then also the issues of substance abuse, alcohol, that's a big concern for the government, and the government is working on that. And that's a growing problem in other countries in the region. So we talked about how WHO can help in terms of prevention, communication, join the work that the government is doing. And then we talked as well about climate change, which is very important for small island states like the Seychelles. I'm left feeling that the Seychelles has a good luck to have a leader who is very engaged on many issues that are very important for the country, and whom I think could be a good example to his peers, and some of what's being done in the Seychelles, we in WHO are going to share with other countries.
The art of poetry is being reviewed on Pralin for the International Day of Poetry, celebrated on the 21st of March. Some 20 Pralinois participated in a poetry open mic. The event was organized by the District Administration of Grand-Anse Pralin. Raspieg, a professional poet, also made a special appearance to encourage those aspiring poets in this form of art, which he says is not considered mainstream. The hope is that Poetry Day remains on the annual calendar of activities for Pralin. That's SBC News for now from the team here at 7. A very good evening to you.